Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make a abstract design using lines or outlines. It's an interesting process and let's take a look at it today. Okay, so my Illustrator, just to start off, my Illustrator may look a little bit different than yours. It's a little bit dark in color around the sides here, but it'll be exactly the same. All the tools are the same than your version. Okay, so let's take a look. What we're going to do is I'm going to take a rectangle tool to start with, and I'm going to drag out a rectangle. And to start, I believe your outline color is in black, so I'll make it the same as yours. Okay, so we have a black outlined square. I want to make sure that the middle is not white, that it has no fill, so we're going to select the no fill. So bring that foreground color up, that fill color, bring it to the foreground, and press none. So I'm left with just a rectangle that has a black outline and no fill. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an ellipse tool, or the circle tool, and I'm going to create a circle down here. And again, I'm going to make sure that the middle has no fill and that the stroke color is in black. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, let me undo that. Next thing I'm going to take is the black arrow. I'm going to drag a box around both objects at the same time. So we're selecting both of these objects. And I'm going to go up to Object, Blend, and Blend Options. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the spacing is on specified steps. I'm going to change it from, I believe the default is 8. I'm going to change it to 30. The orientation, I'm going to choose the second tab over, and then I'm going to say OK, and nothing's going to happen. I'm going to make sure that I'm still selected on both shapes, dragging a big box around them, and I'm going to go up to Object, Blend, and Make. And when I do that, I get a few things happening here. I have 30 intervals uh, connecting the original rectangle to the circle. So what can we do with something like this? Well, you'll notice that there's this line stretching down the center. So right away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen tool, and the pen tool is right here. I'm going to hold it down and tear off this here so I can see the other tools. And we've used this one before. This was the tool that allowed us to create curves, the Convert Anchor Point tool. And I'm going to hold that, I'm going to click on that. And this line here, I'm going to hold down this anchor and I'm going to pull it so I get a curved line like this, and you can see what's happening now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white arrow and I'm going to select just the rectangular spline. Now you'll notice nothing else can be selected except for the original rectangle that you select and the circle, the end shape that we made. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to select my rectangle, and I'm going to change the color of the outline to red. So now what's happening is I have a blending from red to black. I can change with my white arrow, I can select on the circle, and I may want to change that to blue. Now I'm going from red to blue. Well, I'm going to take now the black arrow, I'm going to select these shapes, and I think what I'll do is I'll move them over. Now if I want to move the full rectangle, I could select a box around it with my white arrow, and I can move it someplace else. If I want to just select one of the anchors, I'm going to just drag a box with my white arrow around one of the anchors, and if I move it, you can see I can change the blend completely. Now I think I'll undo that, but I'm going to move this maybe here. Okay. Next, what we'll do is let's create a different one. I'm going to start with a circle, and I'm going to make another circle down here. I'm going to take this circle and hold shift and grab this circle. So these two circles are selected at the same time. And I'm going to go to Object, Blend, and Make. I'm going to take one of my white arrow, and I'm going to turn my anchors to give this a little bit more interest. Okay, and what I'll do is maybe I'll move this off the screen. And then go over to this tool, the Convert Anchor Point tool that was under your pen, and I'm going to hold down that middle line, one of the anchors, either from here or here, and I'm going to drag so that I get a nice curved shape. I can drag a large box around this circle, and I can grab my black arrow and scale it up to make this larger. I think now what I'll do is I'll begin to change some of the colors. Okay. Now what I'll do is this. I'm going to make the background black. And to do that, we're going to create a large rectangle. And I'm going to fill it in black. I'm then going to, you can notice it covers my whole piece. I'm going to select it and go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. And you can see these shapes look a little bit better on a black background. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my pencil tool and I'm going to draw an S type of a shape. And down here, I'm going to draw another S shape that's a little bit larger. This is with my pencil tool. I'm going to take those two splines. So with my black arrow, I'm going to select the one down here and then hold shift and select the spline here. Now be careful because you may be selected on your background. To deselect the background, I'm going to hold down shift and click. So now I'm only selected oops, sorry about that. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to select this shape with the black arrow. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to select this shape with the black arrow. And let's go to Object, Blend, and Make. And maybe I'll move this up a little bit and maybe make this come out some more. I can use my white arrow and I can click on one of the anchors and change these. And change this. And I can move this one and change this up a little bit to give it a little bit more variety. And maybe what I'll do is I'll change the color. If this happens, that means you have filled in the fill color with a color when you should be filling in the stroke color. So I'm going to undo. I'm going to bring the stroke color up front and I'm going to click on a new color. I also want to change this one as well, and I'm going to get that. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is create a design with multiple blends and see what you get. All right. There'll be a form to hand this in as well, so you'll have 2 days to make an interesting design using lines. I want you to fill this up. I'll see you soon. Enjoy.